But guys, we're an hour into the stream. We've only gotten 2 tips. We're at $5, all right? Oh, my God. You just couldn't make it up, but I wish I was. Oh. Excuse me. Boy, do I have the story to tell you. My wife has been texting me. I actually don't even remember what the story was. She was leaving her job and she walked into the parking lot. And as she's walking to the car, she realizes, she's looking at it, she's like, what in the hell? Our car, get this, which is locked, secure, everything should be safe, is supported by a car jack, and a tire is missing. I have evidence. That is our car in the parking lot of where my wife works, missing a fucking tire. I was like, well, let me think about this. Is there a spare in the trunk? So they checked, and there is a spare tire in the trunk. All right, that's good. The problem is there's no lug nuts because they took the lug nuts. Okay, so you can't just put the spare tire on. You need to get lug nuts for the damn thing to put it on. Okay. So that's issue number 1. Issue number 2 is how quickly could you maybe like get a replacement wheel? And the answer is if it was just the tire, you could take it to any tire place. Like you could literally take this to, whatchamacallit. So the spare tire should be fine, okay? Just an issue that I don't have any lug nuts for the damn thing because they took them, okay? So I show up, I get out of the Uber, and mall security is there with my wife. So, after speaking with mall security, they're basically saying, yeah, there's not much we can do to help you, but you have a spare, my wife and mall security had checked, and the spare tire's in the trunk. It appears to be intact and new and good to go. Like, the spare tire seems fine. Problem is, I don't have any lug nuts, okay? So in the meantime, I called, like, a tow place and had a conversation with a tow guy, a local tow guy. And I explained, I want you to tow it, to a place near me that can order tires or whatever, because I need to order a tire right away. Obviously, I need a tire for this thing, and we'll have to talk about options or whatever, okay? And so the tow guy says, well, here's the deal. He says, I'm already in your neighborhood anyway, so I'll come by. He says, but if you can go find some lug nuts or whatever in the meantime, and you can put your spare on, then you should drive your car to the car place, not me. That's going to save you a ton of money. And I was like, I understand that. That's actually quite nice of you. Let me go see what I can do. But in the meantime, he says, I'll be on the way anyway. Okay? So I actually walked, and in the actual shopping center, which I didn't know, there actually was a place that has car parts. So I walked in, and I said, I need 5 lug nuts for a 2017, Toyota. And they went and looked and said, we have them. Okay? So I was handed a handful of lug nuts for a few bucks. All right, take that back. It was around $10. Okay? All right. So this is good news. Maybe I can get this spare tire on myself. Okay? So I go back to the car. I pull the spare tire out. I, start to line up the tire and everything. So it's lined up. And I go to put the lug nuts on. This one's going on. This one's huh? Well, that's just my luck. They handed me a handful of lug nuts. 4 of them are correct, and 1 of them is incorrect size. So I got 4 out of 5 lug nuts that are correct, okay? It's just my luck. Good news is, you can drive with 4 lug nuts instead of 5. That's actually passable, all right? So, well, that's just it, right? So anyway, I'm affixing the lug nuts, and as I'm affixing the lug nuts, the tow guy shows up, and he gets out of his car, and he says, all right, so let's see how's everything's going here. And he's like, he looks, he's like, yep, those are the right lug nuts and everything. Yeah, they're fitting fine. And so basically I'm putting them all on, and it's like, good. I was like, dude, I seriously, and this is true, I haven't changed a tire in like 20 years. The last time I changed a tire was on my Grand Am in the 2000s. That car had issues, and times I popped my tire at a low tire. And I changed the tire on that a few times. This is the first time I actually changed a car in a very long time. So I'm making sure, it's nice to have someone there with you to say, I know what I'm doing and you're doing it right. You know, not that I couldn't have figured it out, but it's nice to have someone there to confirm you're doing it correctly. Okay, so I got them on, and then I go get the, whatever the thing is, the wrench from the, you know, that was with the spare, and I tighten them all on, okay? And then I go, okay, now I gotta get, now, by the way, everything's good, and, I'm like, okay, so now I gotta get it off the jack. We're both looking at this jack, and I realized something. I said, wait a minute, so I got my wrench, all I have is my wrench, and I have my, you know, my spare tire. And I have my own jack in the trunk. My own car jack is in the trunk. But I'm not using it. Obviously, this person who stole my tire, it's their car jack that's on the car right now. Okay? So, I'm like, all right, so let me get the car off the jack, get it down on the ground. And I realized, I'm looking around, I'm like, I don't have a tool that fits their car jack. Their car jacks, there's a hole that you're supposed to stick something in and twist it to make it go up or down. It's a different size than any of the tools in my car set. They're all different. They don't fit. They're all too big, actually. They won't fit in the hole, so you can take the car jack down. And I was like, shit. Like, what do I do now? I can't get the jack down. So luckily, the guy who was the tow guy says, all right, hold on. And he went into his car, and he had a giant screwdriver, like huge. This thing was like this long, and it's a 2-in-1 tool. It's a screwdriver, but it's also used for stuff just like this. So he luckily had a long screwdriver that fit in this jack, and he got my car down onto the ground. If it wasn't for him, I would have had to go beg people in the car parking lot, or go maybe back to the car place and be like, can someone come over here and test tools? Do we find a tool that fits this goddamn jack so we can get my car off the ground? Like, there was no other way that I was going to get this jack undone. What's going on? People are saying things are going on that are racist and stuff. I'm not seeing it. I don't know what you mean. Hold on. Let me see if I can find what you guys are chatting about. Because I don't know what you're saying. Hold on. If there's some idiot here, I'll get rid of him. Liza Versol, did you say something ridiculously racist? If you did, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, dude. Seriously. Liza Versol, you can't say racist shit. I mean, come on. Stop being a fucking idiot. All right. Anyway, at this point, I guess I can... Let's get rid of this picture. Because the car now has a spare tire on it. So at least I can drive the car on the spare tire. By the way, the car's actually not bad on the spare tire. It drove fine. Just that it's a little bit harder to turn, I would say. But outside of that, it's pretty fair. It's a fair spare tire. It's not bad. And it seemed like it is inflated. It seems fine. I mean, it doesn't look good. Everyone knows spare tires look like shit. But at least I could drive the car on it. It seemed all right. And Elijah for Soul said something racist. I think twice. But you got to stop, because if he does it again, I'm just going to ban him. Okay? Okay. Just to let you know, it's going to be just about under $700. Just under, I believe. Actually, he didn't give me the final total. I think it was 600 and change plus tax. Out here, tax is high. It's like 10% or something like that. Okay? So, yeah. By the way, it's hilarious because some people are actually saying that that's way too expensive. You have to understand, it's brand new. Not driven, it's not used. And this is ordered from a warehouse or whatever. That's what it costs new at these places. You understand? That's exactly what it costs new at these places. Yes, if you get it secondhand used, you'll save a ton of money. Absolutely you will. Like I said, go to a scrapyard, go to a place that just has it used. You'll save ridiculous amounts of money. You absolutely will. You'll probably get it for like 100, 200 bucks. But I'm getting the new stuff, and that's what it costs. Purple Pickle says, yes, watch the Flintstones, and you'll learn how to operate a car with no wheels. This is really hilarious stuff, let me tell you. Highbrow humor. Oh, my God. Highbrow stuff. Boy, am I glad I have a day off tomorrow.